to the cloud. And I'm just going to make you host.
All right.
So now I've depowered myself. So I have no authority and you have all the authority, Win.
All right.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah. Now I'm nervous.
Yeah. I think everyone else is even more nervous, Win. So
You're right.
thanks. I have a conflict, so I need to jump off, but it's great to see you all. And
Nice to see you
I'll
too.
catch up with you next.
Tony, before you go, let me just tell you one thing. Yesterday, the Santa Cruz City Board of Supervisors voted to ban the sale of filtered cigarettes.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Wow.
The first jurisdiction in the world to do so. So we're going to
Amazing.
get some publicity on this and get a little, I mean, obviously it's like the tip of a spear that could be expansive, but the fact it was unanimous and there was a huge turnout of environmentalists, all the surf riders and the Save the Bays and all these, it was a really terrific thing. And of course the tobacco retailers were there saying, "Oh, the sky is going to fall and we're all going to go out of business." So anyway, the usual.
I was just
Yeah.
about to ask that follow-up question about the industry. I would imagine they were paying close attention, hoping to cauterize this, what they see as a wound before it goes any further.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I'm sure the county's going to get sued. And I mean, I told them that they can expect all of that, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on all of the litigation that will be following. It could you say it's just the tip of a spear, but it could end up being a critical wound as well.
Yeah, and there's several countries now in the EU especially that are considering this as well, especially related to the discussions on the plastics treaty. So
yeah, I think the consciousness of microplastics as it grows is only going to be a major contributing factor to driving this.
yeah, when it does, then I can retire. Yay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Good to see you.
See you, Tony.
See you all later.
Bye, Tony. Hi, Hannah.
All right. Hey, Hannah, where are you at in the world?
What's up? I'm in Riverside.
Oh, okay, for sure. I'm out in Hawaii. I'm just telling everybody, no big deal, but
Yeah, how's it go? I saw your, what was an auto reply email?
yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It's beautiful out here. Turn every corner, another beautiful view.
Mhm.
The hardest part is getting to work because you don't want to get there. You don't want to go inside a building and sit in front of your computer.
Yeah.
All right, welcome everybody. We have a small crew today. Let's see. This comment from Eamon's assistant. I'll share my screen with the let's see here. Yeah, I can see everybody still. And Hannah, I'm not sure. It's been a minute since you've been a part of these meetings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started doing them quarterly now. And really it's mainly just like a check-in opportunity for the different folks who are part of this work group. And usually we don't get like too deep into the weeds on any one particular topic, but since we have a small group here, we can spend some time. So like Julian in the past has shared some of his like apps that he's developing, and Tom's shared some of his like policies that he's working on and different like models that he's working on and stuff. So yeah.
Sweet.
And I'm gonna be typing out stuff. So if we want to go around and start with some trashy updates, I don't know. Tom, you already kind of gave us one update. I don't know if you want to give us some more updates from your side.
Just one other little one in case anybody's in Newport on the Friday, the October 18th at 6 p.m. I can put up the address. The cigarette surfboard guys are going to be doing they did a documentary film all talking about clean beaches and plastics and all that kind of stuff. And they made these surfboards out of cigarette butts that that is featured. Anyway, they've been entering this documentary in a whole bunch of film festivals, and they're going to be airing it at 6 p.m. on in Newport if anybody's close by there.
That sounds
Oh,
great.
sweet. Yeah, thank you.
Other than that, no.
Okay. Awesome. Well, yeah, congrats on that huge milestone. I know you've been fighting for the filters bans on
Yeah.
cigarettes for a long time, and clearly that's going to really improve the health of people. And
Well, it actually sets the stage for this to be
Yeah.
expanded statewide. We hope that the state will eventually take it up.
yeah,
They've tried it a few times.
yeah. Well, once they see the progress, and once they feel like they're not the only people, I guess, too. I know a lot of governments are kind of like, well, why should I be the first one? Like, I'm gonna get sued from this. I don't want that. Yeah. It's a lot of that. Like, no, you go first. After you. Hey Gary.
Hey, Win. Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're all good.
Hectic morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're just starting our go arounds, and Tom was sharing that filtered cigarettes are now banned in San Diego. A
No,
huge
no,
win.
Santa Cruz, Santa
Oh,
Cruz.
Santa Cruz. Sorry.
Yeah,
Santa
it
Cruz.
won't take effect for another year,
Santa
but
Cruz.
the legislation was passed.
All right. I corrected the record. Sorry, I misheard it the first time.
Yeah.
Yep. Go Santa Cruz. We're doing a few things right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
So you should start seeing some changes in the cigarette waste that you're seeing on the streets out there.
I will keep an eye out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Cool. Julian, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Julian Fulton at CSU Sacramento, aka Sac State. And we have this project in the San Francisco Bay right now that is almost, well, yeah, we're going on about 10 months since we started, but we're kind of hitting prime time now with the participatory monitoring of trash conditions in 4 cities in the East Bay, because the fall is when, under the municipal regional permit, they have to be collecting data to show that the actions they're taking to reduce trash in stormwater is working. So we have, actually starting tomorrow, we're going to have students, high school students out in Richmond that have been trained and are going to be doing visual trash assessments for the city. And we've been doing that for a long time now, but what's unique about this being kind of prime time is that we have the data being collected under a quality assurance project plan, the QAP or QAPP, that kind of makes it official regulatory data. So that's kind of cool that we've reached that point. And so that was a big push to kind of create that QAPP. Yeah, it's an exciting point in that project, and we're going to be expanding. So that's with Richmond. We're going to be expanding into Berkeley and San Pablo and Pinole in the coming weeks and months. So that's an update on our project. And coming up, I'm going to be presenting at the CASCA conference on the 21st of October. I don't know if anybody else is going to that. That's the California Stormwater Quality Association. So my first kind of entree into the regulatory conference world, and hoping to learn a lot and share our work. That's about it for me.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't usually go to that one. I feel like Gary, are you participate in CASCA?
Yeah, definitely. I'll see you there, Julian, and I will look
Cool.
out for your talk. And
good.
welcome to Casca World.
Looks fun. There's a high
Hopefully
dollar
it does-
barriers for entry, but I figured out a way to do it this year. It's pretty expensive
Hopefully the first year
conference.
doesn't send you. Hopefully the first year doesn't send you running the other direction.
So well, it's in my town. It's in Sacramento. So
For sure. And you because you academic folks are definitely in the minority at this
Yeah.
conference.
Right.
And so certainly welcome any injection of your sort of thinking to the venue. That's
cool.
great.
Thanks
How
for
much is it
noticing
to go to attend this, Julian? Just out
It's
of
like
curiosity.
over $1,000.
Dang,
for
yeah,
3
that's
days.
that's more expensive than any scientific conference that I go to. Yeah, but they're getting really expensive
It-
now too. I mean, like 800 is not a normal for a scientific conference right now.
Yeah. For like a 5-day
That's
EGU
pretty
maybe.
recent.
Oh,
That
really?
price
spike?
increase, I feel like it was $500 like 2 years ago or something.
Oh, oh.
So it's gone up quite a bit.
Mm. Inflation's hitting us all. Julian, I'm curious about your QAP. Is this something that like scales? Like, let's say that, we had a community group down here in SoCal, and we were like, hey, we want to collect regulatory grade data on trash on the beaches down here, maybe it's like a little bit of a different thing. I know you're mainly focused on streets, but is this something that like you would be willing to share publicly and allow
Yeah,
people to kind of like edit it and stuff?
totally. We want it to be public domain. Once it's approved, we're going to put it up on our website. And it's written pretty generally. We actually ended up, because we're working with 4 cities individually, we ended up kind of scaffolding it. So the QAPP is kind of overarching and has some QC procedures specified, but sort of minimum standards. And then to tailor it to each city, we develop what we call a monitoring work plan that kind of has all the nitty-gritty, like the standard operating procedures and those kinds of details, the schedules. So the QAPP is meant to be general and portable. It might take a bit of translation into a coastal context because we're in the urban context, and so but yeah, it's something that I worked with Eric Burris at the Water Board because he's a big proponent of community data gathering and sort of drew on a couple other different models, and so it has some applicability for sure. So I'll let you know when it's hopefully by our next meeting it should be approved and up on our website for public use.
Sweet.
And I'd
Thanks.
be happy
Yeah,
to
that's
share it with
awesome.
you ahead of time if you want to just look at it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll connect with you if something like that comes up. Recently, we started getting into the QAP domain too with like microplastics monitoring. And thankfully Andrew Gray's lab, Claire, already did the heavy lifting for the first like microplastics QAP that I know of. And that was really clutch to get us like sped up on that new next monitoring push. So yeah, that'd be a really great resource. I know that those documents are like 40 pages plus and just like so much boilerplate that you have to like create from scratch the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ours was just like, it's basically just field work. There's not a big lab component. With microplastics, you're going to have much more detail, right, on the lab side.
Yeah,
So,
true. Yeah, sweet. Awesome. Thank
yeah,
you.
I'll have to share it with you.
Shelly, you want to go?
Sure. Ton of stuff going on. But the one thing I do want to mention is that we're in the process of planning another microplastics subcommittee meeting. Will likely be somewhere within the first 2 weeks of November. We're looking to have Nick Costanzo from the city of Loveland, I believe that's Colorado, talk about the microplastics work they're doing there. Someone from the ITRC, they actually produced a document around microplastics, and we're going to have somebody talk about that. And we're looking to find somebody to talk about the plastics treaty and what's going on currently with that. So again, those meetings are usually about 2 hours long. It'll be first couple of weeks in November, and we'll be sending out a notice pretty soon. And that's it for me.
Shelley, one question about so the big work group, like the one that we're all housed under.
Yep.
Last time we met, we had some discussion about like if there was interest in having like a meeting across all the work groups again, or how we can how we can plan for the next phases of that, or what kind of support you might need.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on topics, let me know. It's been in the back of my mind to put one of those meetings together and restart them again. So any topics would be appreciated. I'm always looking for speakers, and any suggestions on speakers as well would be awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, I know it's a lot of work to keep these things going. So yeah, we'll definitely keep thinking about that. It was just a topic that got brought up last time.
Yeah,
And
somebody's got their
okay.
hand up.
I have my hand up. Sorry, I don't know how to raise my hand anymore in Zoom. Can I ask a follow-up question to that? I think it's both for Win and for you, Shelley.
Yeah.
I've forgotten his name, but the National Renewable Energy Lab project that was monitoring microplastics in
Yeah.
LA River and other water body, like 5 water bodies around the country. So I'm wondering, Ben, that's his first name, I think. Are you
Yeah.
working on that one? I'm wondering if he came to the
Yeah.
microplastics work group like maybe a year or two ago. That project's further along. Is it worth? I would love personally to hear more about what's going on. And if there's, I don't know though, if there's a point of anything to share. And they would also have some really interesting QA documents. Assuming
Yeah,
they had
they
to do
do.
them. I know Julian is now living through what EPA is requiring. They're not getting, EPA funds, but I imagine, within DOE, they have their own requirements. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had to do a NEPA for
Oh,
the Water Pact project.
okay.
I mean, I think it was like a minimal impact declaration or something. I forget the exact wording, but it was that, but there was like NEPA people definitely involved early on, and like, okay, you can't do it like this, you can't do it like that, you can't sample here, those kind of things. So that was definitely a big part. Yeah, I'm sure Ben would be a great person. That project is it's wrapping up toward the end of this year. So if we had a work group meeting early next year, I'm sure there'd be there's probably like 5 or 6 different components from that project. There's like a whole chemistry side where they're going in nanoplastics. There's this huge monitoring campaign. There's this huge modeling project that they're working on. So could hit it from a ton of different angles. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and that
you.
just gave me an idea when for let's shoot for January. I'm gonna shoot for January for the next trash monitoring meeting. Julian, would you be willing to talk about some of the work that you've been doing?
Sure. We might have something to share, and I'm always interested in gathering folks that are interested in citizen science or participatory science, and I know that subcommittee kind of fell off, but I'd be interested in sort of talking about that angle and piquing interest, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we have each one of the groups, even the ones who have kind of fallen off, present their topic, and you would be great for the citizen science perspective. I would love to restart that group, and maybe we can use your talk as a starting point for getting people interested in it again, and have another groups start up, and then maybe there's somebody else that doing data management maybe you or someone else can present And then I was thinking that we would have a microplastics topic as well, and perhaps we can invite Ben to do that.
Mhm.
So, thanks, Julian.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. I know there's like, I think about like the different synergies of groups, you know, OPC has their own kind of work group that's similar to this, and they should be, I think they're gonna need to do another, what's it called? A trash monitoring plan? What is that thing that,
Your strategy, the
the
ocean.
litter strategy. Yeah, the ocean litter strategy. That's coming up for renewal soon. So that is going to be another time where like all the trash people are going to get reinvigorated.
Right. And we've talked to, so Christy Kehoe at NOAA, the Marine Debris Program Manager, and Christine, I've forgotten her name at OPC, I think will be leading it. And then, sir, okay, thank you. And we've had a lot of conversations about, right, looping in multiple,
Yeah.
right, multiple groups are working on this, and we should be working together in silos.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm having
Uh,
lunch in person with Christine Keogh tomorrow, she's coming to the lab, and
Oh, sweet.
I'll ask her about it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, let her know if we want she needs any support from us to help with that. I think last time it was like an in-person event where a bunch of people got together and like spent several days kind of discussing the state of the knowledge and the state of the priorities for monitoring and all sorts of things like that. Like I think that would be a really great activity to do. All right. Sweet. Uh Hannah, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I can go really quick. Hi, for those of you who I have not met, I'm Hannah. I'm going into my third year of my PhD. I'm in Andy Gray's lab at UC Riverside. So currently I just am wrapping up the first chapter of my PhD, which has been a data harmonization app that I've been working with Win on, that is for both trash and microplastics. That's designed to sort of merge all the semantics, so just get all of these big trash and microplastic data sets into common terminology, and then also do some other nice, pulling it up. Doing some other data harmonization, like trying to convert between account-based concentration to mass, as well as for the microplastic size range, doing like size rescaling. So studies that look at different size ranges using some of the equations developed in, oh my gosh, why am I blanking right now? Anyways, some of these equations that have been developed in these empirical studies before. Nice win. But yeah, so I'm just wrapping that up. I just sent in my second round of revisions for that paper. And then now I'm pivoting to, we're doing a tire wear monitoring study on the Los Angeles River. And additionally, I'm going to be working with Ben Mauer's group at NREL. I'm probably actually going to be heading up there to Boulder sometime this fall to run some particles through their 3D particle analyzer, that I will then ship off to Andy, my PI, who is on sabbatical in Germany this year. And then we're going to do some like rising settling velocity experiments on those particles.
Super cool.
Mhm.
I really want to know, like, with that 3D particle analyzer, could you get like center of mass on the particles and then like model them in like a 3D realm and how they,
Yeah.
how they like swirl and stuff like that? It'd be really interesting to like think about some of these things.
Erica?
And so these may be super basic questions, but are you trying to separate the tire wear particles from the other microplastics? And are you also looking at 6 ppd, or you're just trying to understand like what % of all these particles are tire wear?
Yeah, so what we're doing for this project, we're doing like discrete depth sampling. So we did it during low flow. So we looked at like 5 different depths from the surface to the bottom of the water column. And we just kind of, our main question here is to just try to look at like transport dynamics and see, like, we would expect to see a higher percentage of these particles towards the bottom. So that's sort of what we're looking at. But method wise, yeah, for the larger particles, we are going to be manually picking them out. And then for the smaller particles, we're going to be filtering them onto glass fiber filters, and then they're all going to be run through a PyGCMS. In that, we're doing like a double shot, like a TD PyGCMS routine. So it's going to do like a non-target analysis, and we are going to be looking for like some of these additives. But yeah, so that's also funny that you mentioned that, because I'm in the process right now of like trying to track down some people more familiar with LCMS, and I think that there actually might be someone on our campus that I could track down that we could look at. Gosh, I think they're looking at like 20 different tire additives currently, 6-PPD being one of them. But yeah, I'm still trying to iron that out. And I also, oh yeah, I went to the microplastics workshop for early career researchers this year in Germany. So I got to talk to some groups there. It was nice speaking with them. And it was also good to know that like I wasn't aware of how time sensitive a lot of these things can be. So I know like with 6-PPD, it can like degrade pretty quickly if it's like if the water samples are exposed to air. So yeah, trying to iron that out. But
Okay, that's interesting. And you know that, Shelley, you're at SFBI part-time or all the time? Or not at all? Okay, never mind. I'm mixing up my associations, but they do have projects looking at green, like capturing, right? Or is it just microplastics? Maybe it's never mind. It's microplastics and green stormwater infrastructure. Okay, not specifically tire wear. Washington State is looking at, I think, specifically the tire wear. Okay. And you know, the DTSC, what is it? The Safer Chemicals Program is also looking at trying to find, okay, I'm telling you things you already know. Good. That makes me happy.
I hadn't heard about the DTSC.
Oh, like, are there non-regrettable substitutions like for 6-PPD? Are there other products that are not toxic? So as part of their, somebody can correct me, it's like safer or green, safer chemicals program. There's another name for it. I'd have to look it up to.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been attending those meetings with the like tire manufacturers association people, because they sent out those samples and there's been some like periodic meetings with them, but they've actually been like pretty open to collaboration, because I mean they've just said like up until now all of their regulatory aspect has been like on the safety side, and then they just kind of got thrown this curveball of like, and also I need you to find a good replacement for 6-PPD, so they're new to the toxicology realm.
Oh, interesting.
They've been
Okay.
working pretty closely with a lot of researchers.
Cool. Yeah. I think I had heard about them, but I wasn't. Yeah, I've never been a part of any of their meetings. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Tire wear. The big elephant in the room. The tiny particle. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Hannah, for all those. I know you got tons of awesome projects you're working on, so thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Erica, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll introduce myself. So I work at US EPA in our Region 9 office. So I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. I work in our watersheds office, and I'm our trash-free waters coordinator. So I just get to touch lots of trashy things. So I come here to learn from all of you and make connections. And I'm glad I'll be working with Julian. I think I came in just as you were ending your description of your project, but I am going to be working with Julian on the aforementioned grant. And then EPA, our headquarters office, through a contract with the University of Georgia, just came out with a mapping tool. I'd be really curious for feedback from this group. I will put it in the chat. I haven't spent much time on it. It is called Escaped Trash Risk Map. So it was developed with University of Georgia and the Sea Education Association. And I'll just copy and paste this in the chat so you have the reference. So it displays modeled estimate of escape trash density across the US. So escape trash being waste materials that leak out from waste management systems. So is the chat accessible? It is.
I think
Yep.
I think so.
All right, I'll try it. No, my message is too long. Okay, I'll send it. I'll break it down and put it in. But I think that is it for now. I do, when you were talking about the ocean litter strategy, we don't lead that, but I'm hoping to participate, and yeah, that will be coming. That process will start soon, and maybe Shelley will be able to tell us all about it after her lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I had seen the escape trash risk map in my email. Let me see if I can find it too, because it is super cool to poke around on. Okay, oh, you got it. Yeah. I think my main question after my quick look into it was just trying to figure out, like, is this something that's already been published or planning to be published? Like, from a scientific perspective, what they're doing is super novel and probably like lots of kind of assumptions and like challenging modeling equations baked into it. But currently, like, how it's being described is like a 4-page document, which doesn't really quite give me enough to like fully understand what they did. So I'm assuming that they are planning on taking this to the next step and like actually formalizing like how these models were developed and stuff. But do you have any
I
other
don't have, I
knowledge?
just
Yeah.
learned, I had seen kind of a preview earlier this year during an internal meeting, and then I would feel free to, I can put the contact, like our person in our headquarters office, Ramel, you could reach out directly. Like, they should have, you know, the technical documents.
Mhm.
I would imagine, and kind of what, and I've also just asked yesterday, I asked for a like a user. I mean, you all may not like, I had, you know, just like, how would you use this? Something, you know, posting it, like having a webinar that just kind of goes through. But yeah, I would
Right.
ask.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, so, you know, I just play with tools like this all day.
Yeah.
So for me, I immediately started thinking about, all right, well, how can I see, like, in Long Beach where we work, which is like over here, right? And there's like it's like a legend. Where is it? Here. It tells you like how much litter should be where we work, in like items per square meter. So right now it's like, you know, somewhere around like I don't know, 0.6 to 0.8 or something like that. So yeah, and then I could go and I could try to verify that, or I could use this to like try to predict different hot spots for where trash might be if I want to do like cleanup activities or something. But you're right, like getting this into people's hands who can make like real decisions. Like, I don't know, Gary, do you think that this is something that you're basically doing this manually right now? You're actually going out and collecting this data on the roads. Like, is this something that you would use?
Yeah, it's interesting. This is really great, Eric. It's really nice to see, and I see they're using Bayesian mixed models to do this inference over space, human development index, and NLCD high density land uses are the primary predictors used in this model. So it's you know, like there's this big problem that we have where we need to do this monitoring for deciding how well we're doing with tracking progress with trash reduction, but we can't measure everywhere all the time. And so if we
Right.
have a model that does a decent job, it allows us to extend the utility of those measurements that we do have. So measure where we can, model where we can't, I say. So yeah,
I'd be
this is
super
neat.
curious how well this model fits to your model. Like in, I don't know if you're mainly doing like Santa Cruz area, but if you have a minute at some point, like not right now or anything, but just maybe for the next meeting to let us know how well this actually matches up with your observations.
I'll make some screenshots. I'll take some screenshots from this
Yeah,
and the actual observations in a couple of the cities, and we can take a look.
that'd
Just
be
kind of
sweet.
on the fly validation.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
super curious about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that would be great feedback. Um,
Let's see. I'm seeing high density in the beach flats behind the boardwalk there. Looking good so far. Some of the dark squares along the river levee.
I'm also curious how we can increase the number of empirical sites that we have on the, how that feeds into the modeling. There's not very many, from what I can tell so far. But it seems like you're saying we can inform the modeling.
Yeah, my understanding was that there was an attempt to do this via consultants back in 2015 when the trash amendments first came to fruition, to define what these priority land uses were to be that needed to be monitored, and it didn't actually work all that well the way that they had done it. I don't think the effort was nearly at the scope of what we're looking at here, and the statistical methods probably were not as sophisticated, and so they just reverted back to a subset of land uses that pretty much fall into the category of high intensity developed land uses. But these socioeconomic factors, which all of us just kind of walking around have an intuitive sense that that would be an important factor that would have some level of predictive power, I don't think was included in that initial analysis. So yeah, cool to see another effort on that front that seems to have worked better.
Yeah, so cool. Julian, do you think this model would be useful to your work in any way? Because I know you're doing similar but different methods to Gary.
I mean, I'm trying to think through like what could a city do with this, and the size of the cells it strikes me as pretty large, and so
Right.
what kind of management action you could take.
That's a good point. Yeah. Like at this scale, like is this actionable? This is like a whole community, like a whole enclave or of the city, for one square here. But I don't know, it's like what, 5 blocks by 5 blocks or something. It's not, yeah. Just to give
The other
them
thing is
somewhere to start.
that I'm thinking about is that this seems to be modeled trash generation. It doesn't really represent necessarily, trash flow into water bodies. So
Good point.
we're using it for like trying to understand impacts to the water bodies, like, and that's the other thing about the empirical side is where we monitor is where we don't have full trash capture.
Right.
Where we monitor trash generation, right? So
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. When I was talking to this group early on, I think we supported them with some initial data and stuff to feed into this model. And when I was talking to them, I think that they were I think that these squares are supposed to be indicative of like the likelihood of trash getting into the waterway. Or at least at one point they were thinking that. And so I'm not exactly sure like how well they've got the hydrodynamics connected, but I do know like they're plotting like floodplain in here. That's why like I want to see like a really detailed documentation about everything so I can dive into it super deep. But yeah, maybe we could Shelly, maybe we have Ramel come to the next trash monitoring work group meeting.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, to talk
Tony
about
and I,
this.
Tony and I have done some work with him, so
Yeah.
I can reach out to him and ask him.
Okay, I'm putting that on the other people from L. Cool. Sweet. Thank you, Erica. All right, let's see who's not. Gary, I don't think you've gone yet. Did we lose Gary? I have. I think we enter the matrix when we start thinking on all those different levels simultaneously, and I almost got sucked into my computer there. I was holding on to the table. I'm not sure if anybody else was feeling that. But cool. Well, I can go next. So yeah, when I'm co-lead of this subcommittee. Oh, Gary's back. And with Tony Hale. Tony really wanted to be here today, but couldn't. He's got some other things going on. So big updates from me. And actually, I could give like a short mini update for this project from SFEI's involvement too. So we've been working on a project with the Ocean Conservancy to track bottles going. We've put these GPS tracked bottles into rivers down in Southern California, and SFEI has some down in or up in the Bay Area that they've put. And so these are bottle locations, and basically these GPS devices are pinging, so they're telling us the real-time location, and we're able to use this to try to understand things like, let me see, are any of theirs still live? No, not in the last 7 days. We haven't had a lot of flow here in California. There hasn't been much rain in the last 7 days, so you're not seeing this, but basically these would all be like connected by lines of where they were in the past 7 days, so you could kind of track them going down the stream. And right now we're working on trying to figure out like all the different, there's so many different ways that we could use this data, and we're trying to figure out what's going to be the biggest bang for our buck in terms of like developing predictive models for how likely trash is to flow down a stream, for example, or how fast it might move out to the ocean. We learned some crazy things here in our basin. So we put about 20 bottles in the San Gabriel River, and after the first rain event, almost all of them flushed directly to the river mouth, which is extremely fast transport. We did have, there was like one hang up location. I think it was up here. There's this there are these like check dams up here, and it's really hard for trash to move through it. So most of the trash should not bypass these check dams up here. And yeah, so there were definitely quite a few very interesting. Yeah, Erica?
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but are you,
No,
so,
go ahead.
so I have a couple of questions. At those check dams, are there actual, is the city or the county coming in and cleaning them out, or it's just sort of sitting there amassing trash? That's my first question.
Yeah, Shelly, go ahead.
That's a great question. It's actually a spot that typically has a ton of trash. I've never seen anybody down there cleaning it up. I actually took Tony Hale out there one time to look at it, and his comment was that it appeared to be post-apocalypto. I mean, it was really that bad. And I have pictures I can show people. It's a place that is basically a spreading ground. A lot of the trash doesn't go all the way through, and I'm assuming that they clean it up once in a while. But there are also a lot of unhoused in the area. contributing as well.
Okay, all right, thank you for answering. The other question, are you looking at, so they're plastic bottles?
Mm-hmm.
Things, so are you looking at kind of degradation of the bottle? Like, I don't know, it weighed this much when we put it in, and then at the end, like, this much material has
Yeah, that would be
degraded like
interesting.
microplastics.
That would be super interesting. We did not do that. And
Mhm.
but I don't know. Ocean Conservancy might be able to do that. There were some bottles that came back super chewed up from just banging against rocks. And unfortunately, we did have to, some of the bottles are sacrificed to the river. Like about half of them, we were never able to recover because they just smashed on rocks and sank, or the GPS device went dead or something like that. So, um, yeah.
Okay. And then in the Bay Area, was that Walnut Creek? I was trying to figure out what creek you were using.
Let's see. I think they do have some on Walnut Creek. Yeah, I think is this Walnut Creek
Is that
here? No, Lafayette. That's Lafayette Creek. I thought there was some
over
at
there?
Walnut.
Close notes.
What's that?
That, I think that should be Walnut, yeah.
This one here? Yeah, yeah, that's Walnut. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yes.
can I ask, like, did you work with the flood control district, or this, who did you work with locally to when you put the bottles in? Like, where did you have people looking out for them? No. Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure for SFEI. I wasn't a part of that.
Okay.
For ours, we're working with several different, yeah, flood control districts are one of the big groups. For like LA and for the San Diego Creek. We also ended up working a little bit with the this Newport Bay Nature Preserve folks. This is like a different jurisdiction down here to recover some of the bottles. Yeah, good question.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, I will pass over to Gary. We have about 10 minutes left, so might get a chance to go too. Gary, I can't hear you for some reason.
While Gary's getting set up, I'll just say if you want to do any that bottle back in inland around the American River in Sacramento, and you know, there's some urban sloughs and stuff.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, the Ocean Conservancy, I think that this project is coming to an end. They've kind of spent all the money that they had for it, and so I'm not sure that there's an opportunity to expand scope with on that project right now. But all the blueprints for these bottles are like totally open and they're sharing them. So you know, we could make more and do more analysis at different places.
Big full citizen science project.
Yeah. Gary, you there? Nope, still can't hear you. All right. Sweet. One other project. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about? I have one other project that or actually we have one other thing on the agenda even. Greg Gearhart wants to set up another trash workshop. He had posted about this on LinkedIn, looking for like people who might want to collaborate on like the trash data dive. I don't know if you've been a part of those in the past, Julian or Eric or Hannah. But
Yeah, the
they're
last
really
one was 2021, right?
I know, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, there were
Fun.
like 4 or 5 of them, and they were usually in-person events where we get a bunch of people together to talk about very specific problems and try to spend like 1 or 2 days actually trying to tackle a specific trash problem. Yeah. Gary, were you able to
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, hey, yep.
Sorry about that. Jeez, disaster.
No worries.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just thinking, Hannah, it's great to hear all the info about the tire wear particles. I feel like we have like so few standout examples for like these huge success stories, like eliminating copper in brake pads, and I just feel like this has the potential to be one of those. So it's really cool to hear about that resource or that research. I just have a quick update. I've been knee deep in. We have an oncoming new permit for phase 2 cities in California. So this is all cities that are below 100,000 people. And the trash amendments that all cities have been working to meet compliance initially, all of these requirements are not explicitly integrated to their permit requirements. And so we've talked in the past about how the trash amendments in themselves are just really a big win for this trash battle that we're fighting. But now having these requirements really codified in the permits is just another step in that right direction. And there's a few new things that folks should be aware of. Some of it's related to what we were actually talking about. Of course, as Julian was talking about, some areas of the city people are actually capturing all the trash with the full trash capture devices. But then in other areas where that's not feasible, they're doing monitoring, and it's been a bit fuzzy up to now. Like, well, how much monitoring is sufficient to know that the area that you're looking at is essentially equivalent to as if you had a full capture device downstream. And the new permit says that what must be monitored is a statistically representative set of locations or land uses. And the onus is on the municipality to demonstrate that representativeness. And so that's some of the work that we've done in the past has done exactly that, trying to quantify what's the density of sampling or monitoring work that you have to do to have some threshold level of confidence that you're that you know, or that you know what the trash condition of an area is to some threshold level of confidence. So that is now in the phase 2 permit, and cities are going to need to do that. And then importantly, there's these milestones that are laid out. This permit, I should say, it's still in draft form. We don't know when it'll be finalized, probably sometime in 2025. But these milestones, we have 30% trash loading reduction by 2026, end of 2026, 65% by the end of 2027, and 100% by 2030. So it's a real aggressive schedule, and again, it's just pushing things in the right direction. And just to zoom out from here in California with our phase 2 permit, we've been working with City and County of Honolulu recently, and they have a new permit, and they have trash reduction requirements in their new MPDS permits. And some of what's in there is just carbon copy taken wholesale from what we have here in California. So there are definitely other states looking to what we're doing here in California to figure out how they can deal with their own trash problems. So that's encouraging as well.
Is there anybody, I'm in Honolulu right now. Is there anybody I should try to meet up with while I'm out here?
Yeah, I do have somebody that it might be great for you to
Yeah,
talk to.
yeah, sweet.
Well, let me think on that for a minute.
Yeah,
Depending
please do.
on,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love geeking out with trash folks. So if there's anybody like that you think I should connect to, that'd be sweet. I
Yeah,
have like
there's
quite
a
a bit of free
nonprofit.
time.
There's a nonprofit group that handles all of the trash compliance requirements for City of Honolulu. So
Oh,
yeah,
so cool.
let me. I'll ask if there's anybody doing trash research out there that you might want to connect with.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, well, that's great news that they're like taking the trash data collection a lot more rigorously. I know there was like a lot of anxiety on all sides because there wasn't enough like description about how exactly to collect data and what data need to be collected and stuff to prove this. 100% trash reduction by 2030. Man, that's epic. I hope we make that goal. And is that 100% like reduction to the level of whatever the like low value is, or is that 100% gone?
Well, that's the idea. I mean, that's as close. It's going to be very difficult, and I think that a lot of this is really going to, because we're doing a lot of monitoring to assess where that progress is. I think it's really going to come down to whether or not that what we can measure through the monitoring data accurately reflects what that loading is to receiving waters. And so there are other places like San Mateo had an RFP out a year ago or so, and it was right to try to measure measure the loading actually in the receiving waters. It's just really difficult to do. The folks that have tried to do it in the past, but I think that's the ultimate verification. It remains to be seen if we reduce trash to those levels that we can quantify via those monitoring protocols, if that
Right.
actually is the same as that low level of loading that we can measure in the receiving waters. So that's where the rubber is ultimately going to meet the road. so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it should correlate strongly.
You
I
you
can't
would hope.
imagine you have perfectly clean streets and a ton of trash in the river. But yeah, maybe some places that would be the case. Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Okay, well, we're at time. Thank you everybody for coming, and I will see you next quarter. So that'll be, I think, what are we doing? Every 3 months-ish. So it's probably going to be like January. Hope you all have great holidays.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Thanks, Win. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, Gary,
Oh, yeah.
I still got you on. Yeah. So tonight actually, I'm giving a workshop on trash in Hawaii, and
In
like,
Honolulu?
yeah, in Honolulu. I'm on Oahu right now.
Let me I'll send a message. My friend Tanya is the person that I met when I was out there talking about this stuff.
Sweet.
Where is it? Can you send me a link to like what you're doing? I can pass
Yeah,
it on to her, and maybe that would be a
yeah, that'd be
way
great.
to connect
I'll
you.
send that to you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Where where are you doing the workshop?
So it's in yeah, it's also in Honolulu. It's at this really cool event center that's kind of like, it's like a big circular event center, and there's gonna be like some local nonprofit trash groups there. Let me find the Eventbrite for it here so I can, I'll just put it in the chat right here.
Cool.
Um, So there's like some local community based groups, and then I'm going to be representing the researchers. There's another researcher that's from out here too. And there's going to be a dinner. Yeah, I think it'll be a really good event, but I'm not sure that it's been like, let me see how many people are planning on attending. Doesn't say on here. Just trying to get the word out about it, but also if this is super short notice for them, I'm sure. But if that doesn't work and they want to meet up, I have so much downtime right now. I would love to just connect with different trash folks out here.
How long are you going to be out there?
Until Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely pass it on, Quinn, and yeah, maybe connect with some of the folks that I know out there. That's really exciting. That's great that you're out there talking about trash.
Yeah, thanks. Are you do you come out here regularly? Have you been like working closely with the people out here?
No, it's been a couple years now. And we actually there was we just reconnected and started talking again like a few months ago. So there's been a big gap, and in that period, that's when I guess things changed with the